Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how the Haathi Carnatic Editor application can be used for notating a Carnatic song like a Varnam. So let's start by creating a notation document for the Mohanam Varnam that most of you will be familiar with. Again, as I mentioned in the previous video, with the Haathi Carnatic Editor application, everything you do in this document is going to be comprised of sections. So I'm first going to go ahead and add the song title, and I'm going to say Ninnu Kori. And for the ko, I actually need to use the diacritic to get the long O sounds. I'm going to go ahead and hit the F4 key to shift that O to just being an O to an O with a dash on top of it. So it's very easy to convert a standard character into one of the alternate characters. So just one simple press of the F4 key will toggle a character between the standard variation and the alternate variations. So you'll see me do that in the rest of this document quite frequently as well. So let's go ahead and put the title of the document. I'm going to press Ctrl L to get a blank line inserted. Then I'm going to press Ctrl I, or I can press this button here to insert a new section. And I'm going to go ahead and insert a song information block. And I'm going to go ahead and now start automatically filling in all of this information. The labels are already here, ready to go. You just have to fill in the details. So I'm just going to go ahead and put Mohanam Janyamov Hari Kam Boji Arohanam is So what I did right here is I just typed, to get the re 2, all I did was type R followed by the letter 2, and automatically the 2 became a subscript. And then same for the G, I typed in for the ga 3, I just typed in G followed by the letter 3, and the 3 automatically became a subscript. And similarly for the da 2. And so you can see it's very easy to enter the notation with this tool. Okay. Talam is Adi and Ramnath. So I'm done inserting the song information block. I'm going to hit Ctrl L again to get a blank space. And then I'm going to go ahead and press Ctrl I to insert a section. I'm going to add a paragraph title so that I can call my paragraph title Pallavi. And then again, I'm going to insert a blank line of space, and then I'm going to go ahead and insert, in this case I want to do Adi, Talam, Chatusragati, both notes and text, note meaning Swaram and text meaning the Sahityam. I just use general terms here so that it's easy to understand for anybody who doesn't know the technical terms in the Carnatic language. So if you pick Adi, Chatusragati, notes and text, and you'll see a sample of what that section looks like. And in fact, I use the Mohanam Varnam text as some of the samples for many of the samples here as well. So alright, so I'm going to go ahead and actually start typing in the Pallavi right now. And I'm going to start first by doing the Swarams. It's easy to do it because the software automatically tabs from one cell to another cell. And now you must have noticed that I've been able to easily get that dot underneath the note to shift it to the lower octave. For any character, any of these notes, if you want to shift it to the lower octave, to the higher octave, all you have to do is press the octave shift keys, which are the comma key, which has the less than symbol to shift it to the lower octave, or the period key, which has the greater than symbol to shift it to the higher octave. So it's very easy to enter the notation across multiple octaves by simply typing in your letter and then shifting it to the other octave. So now that we have created one part of the document, the Pallavi, at least the Swaram part of it, I'm just going to go ahead and as a good habit, go ahead and save this document. So I'm gonna call this Mohanam. You can call this document whatever you want. I'm just calling it Mohanam Varnam Adi. Now with the swarams of the Pallavi done, I'm going to go back to a few spots and add some hyphens like you're normally used to seeing for marking the groupings of the swaram. So this gapa gagar is goes together. I'm going to go ahead and just mark that and a couple other markings. Okay, so now all those markings are in there, and I can go ahead now and start typing in the Sahityam as well. So okay, so now I am done with the entire Pallavi. I'm going to go ahead and press Ctrl L to add a space between Pallavi and Anupallavi. And then I'm going to use Ctrl I for insert to insert a new paragraph title. I'm going to call that Anupallavi. Insert another blank line after that. And now I'm ready to start typing in the Anupallavi. And so before I say do the Anupallavi, I'm just going to go ahead and save this document, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a print preview just to see how that looks. So you can see that I have my blank section down here where I'm going to be filling in the Anupallavi. But the Pallavi is nice and crisp and cleanly presented here in the top portion. You can see the document title and the song information block. And we can now continue with creating the Anupallavi. So I'm going to start now putting the swarams for the Anupallavi. Okay, I'm done now with the swarams of the Anupallavi, and everybody's variation is slightly different. So some of the notes you may see here are maybe slightly different variation than what you're used to. But again, this is just a general notation editing software, so you can notate it however you like. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in some of the hyphens that need to be here in various spots. And that's it. And now I'm going to go ahead and start putting in the Sahityam for the Anupallavi. Okay, and now I'm done with the Anupallavi as well. Let me go ahead and now start adding the Mukta Swaram. I'm going to add a vertical line as a space between the Anupallavi and the Mukta Swaram. I got that vertical line. Now I'm going to go ahead and insert another paragraph title. And insert another blank line. And then I'm going to go ahead in the Mukta Swaram. I don't need any Sahityam, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this block that got automatically created. And I'm going to go ahead and add just a block with that's going to contain notes and no Sahityam. So like this. And I'm going to now start typing in the Mukta Swaram. Okay, so I'm done with my Mukta Swaram there. Let me go ahead and add the hyphens where they need to go. Okay, so there is the Mukta Swaram. Let me go ahead and now add a blank line after that. And let's just go ahead and save the document, and then let's see what it looks like. So this is what the document looks like so far. So you can see that we have the Pallavi, the Anupallavi, and the Mukta Swaram very neatly created in a nice document format with all the notes and Sahityam following each other. And let me go ahead and now continue with the Charanam. Actually, one thing I can show you here as well is after the Mukta Swaram, you may want to indicate that you want to go, the singer must go back to singing Ninnukori, the Pallavi, and then finish it off. So one way you can indicate that just by simply adding a single line of text, and we can say we want it to be right justified, and then we can type in just Ninnukori like this. And now when we do the print preview, you can see how that shows up on the screen, just like that, just so it indicates that the singer should go back to the Pallavi and finish it off. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start working on the Charanam. I'm going to go ahead and delete this Swaram block that got created. I don't need that right now. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And I'm going to go ahead and insert a new title, paragraph title, and call that Charanam. Insert a blank line after that, and then start with the actual Charanam, which obviously has Swaram and Sahityam. So let me go ahead and add a block that contains Swaram and Sahityam right there, like we did before. And let me go ahead and start filling this in. Okay, so I'm done now with the Swaram portion of the Charanam. I can go back now and add the hyphens where they belong, like right there. And actually that should be the only place where I need the hyphen. And now let me go ahead and fill in the Sahityam. Okay, so now we're done with the Sahityam of the Charanam. I can go ahead and get rid of this combined Swaram and Sahityam block, which again got auto-created. But I can go ahead and delete that. And now just add a blank line of space. And then I can actually now go ahead and start putting the Charanams. So for the Charanams, we just want note sections. So I'm going to go ahead and create the Charanam. And I can actually even number these Charanams like you normally are used to seeing. And so now let me start with the first Charanam. Okay, so that's the end of the first Charanam. I'm going to go ahead and add a blank line, which is now right here, and I'm going to move this section below so I can use that for the second Charanam. And one other thing I'm going to go ahead and do is insert a single line of text that is right justified, and put the link back to the main Charanam Sahityam. Okay, now let me continue with the second Charanam. Okay, again I'm going to insert a blank line, and then control down arrow moves this block one step down. Just nice shortcuts to use the software fast. And again I'm going to go ahead and just click on this row right here. I'm going to say I want to duplicate that. Now I've duplicated it. I'm just going to go ahead and move that below the second one. Another nice convenient feature. And in here I'm going to go ahead and come back and add the hyphens where they're supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there, and then after this, and after that, and after this right there. Okay, so I'm now ready to work on my third Charanam. So put the hyphen there. That should be the only place here that requires it. And again, like I did before, I'm going to go ahead and add a blank line. I'm going to click on that, duplicate that block, move that down, and now I'm done with my third one. And now let's work on the final Charanam, final Chittaswaram. So since I'm going to have lots of notes in this Chittaswaram that are going to be in the Tarasthai or the upper octave, one of the things I can do is just go ahead and change the default octave that is part of this particular block as I'm typing in the notation. And so I can right now I can just go ahead and shift the default octave to the upper octave. And I did that by pressing F12. I can also do that by just pressing this key. And so now I can just type in these characters just as they are. So and now I'm going to shift it back to the normal octave. And now we're going to have lots of upper octave notes. So I'm going to shift back into the higher octave by hitting F12, which you can see from the changes to this button here as I'm hitting F12, that got back into the upper octave. Let me hit that a few more times so you can see that button changing from the middle octave to now to the upper octave, back to the middle octave, to the lower octave, to the middle, to the upper, and so on. So now I'm going to go ahead and continue typing this. Now shift back to the normal octave. So I'm done with this. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that last block that was automatically created. Come back in here and put the hyphens where they belong. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that section again like we did before. Move that block down. And there is the notation document. I'm going to go ahead and save this document. Let's do a print preview and let's see how it looks like. So here is page 1, and we can see that the word Charanam shows up here at the bottom of page 1. We don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and just go to right before the Charanam and add another blank line like that. That should now force it into the second page. So we can see Charanam now starts nicely on the top, and we see our 4 Chittaswarams that follow the Charanam, everything very neatly aligned, create a very nice and beautiful notation document. You can now, if you have a PDF printer application like Qt Writer or PDF 995 or many of the others that are out there, you can go ahead and save this document as a PDF and send it to whoever you want, and that would allow them to just view it using Acrobat Reader or any other PDF application that they have. Or if you want to share this document in a way where someone else can actually edit this document and make changes, you can share with them this actual HMD file that you're going to be saving. So if I hit the save button or go to save as, you can see that these documents are being saved in what is called as the Haathi music document format, the HMD format. If you save it in the HMD format, then anybody who has the Haathi Carnatic Editor will be able to open this document and make any changes to it, and be able to make any edits and save them and create new PDFs from there and so on, if that's what you would like to do. So this in a nutshell is how you use the product. In this particular case, we use the product to create the notation document for the Mohanam Varnam. I will have other videos on the website as well, showing you how the product can be used for creating the notation documents for kritis and some specific features that I have there that would be nice for you to see as well. So please check out the other videos, and for more information as well as to buy the Haathi Carnatic Editor, please visit haathisoftware.com. That's HAATHI software.com. Thank you.